It was terrible to call a nurse and say, "You can take my son now," and never see him again.
A heartbroken mother is using her pain to give her life purpose. The couple decided keeping quiet would never help other mothers who lost a child.
They're talking about their son, Chase. All right, Lauren?
That's right. He changed their life forever. So we want to share their story with you. And for some people, this is a very sensitive topic, and it's going to be tough to watch the video. But this February marks 3 years since Kristin and Chris Blouch lost their son, Chase. Time, of course, has helped with healing, but nothing helped more than breaking their silence. So instead of being quiet and angry, the couple made a decision to speak out and help out in ways they never imagined.
Kristin and Chris Blouch were expecting their third child back in 2015.
Chris and I were on our couch and feeling him kick at our hands.
The next day, they were in a doctor's office for a routine ultrasound.
It was a completely normal pregnancy.
Until it wasn't.
It was a terrible feeling. I often said that it was like a living hell. It was bad.
Doctors told her the baby's heart suddenly stopped beating after 20 weeks.
That day was by far the hardest day of either of our lives.
I was angry, I was confused. I felt isolated, like I was the only one that this had ever happened to.
But they wanted to make memories, one of the most important, to read a book.
We did that with his older brother and his older sister the day they were born.
With no books in sight, the family tradition was now impossible. Chris tried to turn to technology.
I had nightmares about it, just seeing Chris looking through his phone trying to find a book to read to Chase.
This only fueled their frustration.
I started to write because I wasn't able to talk about my experience without breaking down really bad. And then that turned into a blog.
6 months later, the blog blossomed into a foundation.
The biggest thing I've seen is that there's a need. There's such a need for help for these families that lose a baby.
Families and hospitals were reaching out to the couple, not just for advice and answers.
Could you donate to us? We don't have these supplies. We never would have thought about this.
Supplies the couple made into making memory boxes. Inside each one, baby wash, a camera, canvas and ink for those precious hand and footprints, and of course, a book.
We're far from alone in this.
And that realization helped to move the couple to raise money, using designer bags and power tools as prizes.
That's something that our foundation is big on, is involving the dads too.
Chris knows how the fathers can sometimes feel stuck in stereotypes.
Like, oh, I'm, not supposed to talk about it. Don't cry, don't get upset.
This year, on what would have been Chase's third birthday, the foundation, A Day with Chase, pulled in $13,000.
It just blows us away to see the impact that he's now having on so many people.
The money will help families at 2 hospitals in Texas and Tennessee when they buy cuddle cots, which is a $3,000 crib cooling device that preserves the bodies of deceased newborns so families can extend the time with their babies.
It was terrible to call a nurse and say, "You can take my son now," and never see him again.
Hoping to ease the pain for another grieving mother.
It's okay to feel. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to cry when you want to cry. Feel what you're feeling.
But then move past those feelings.
Talk about it. I wouldn't have been able to help so many families now if I hadn't talked.
They even talked about never trying for another child until fate had its way. In 2016, a baby girl was born.
To have Chloe born, I remember when she was, I screamed and I said, "She's alive, she's alive."
And because of this journey, she's more alive than ever before.
She's alive. I'm glad they talked because I didn't know this went on.
That's the same thing the family felt, and they said that that's exactly why they're happy to know now that so many people have reached out. And gotta love a story with a happy ending, because that's what this one has. So I was happy to do it. They're smiling now, raising money, helping families.
And what a way to remember Chase.
I know, every birthday they're gonna have fundraisers and raise money for other families to help them. So $13,000 this year.
So those footprints and handprints were his actual feet and hands.
They said luckily they had such a great nurse at Lankenau that helped talk them through that. Because you know, when you're experiencing something so deep and painful like that, you don't think it out. And so they were like, let's give the baby a bath. Maybe you want quiet time, read a book. And so you don't think about those things in the moment, but they had a good nurse to talk them through it. So now they're trying to pass along and pay it forward with the information they learned through their experience.
I did
So you
not
can still
know.
create memories.
Yeah,
Still have that.
there was such a thing as a machine, like a cuddle
A cuddle cot.
that would preserve the child's body.
Right, so they can spend and extend
Spend
their
more time.
Make the memories.
What a story.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
guys. Thanks to them for sharing it.
Be right back.